every single person that is here today. Thank you so much, Dr. Janie, for your amazingness. And we are going to get all the way into it. It is Thursday, 7:30 a.m. And I want to say hello to Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, the Facebook group, Breakfast with Champions, right here as we meet coaching with cocktails and conversations, LinkedIn and YouTube. You can connect with me by clicking on the direct link right there inside of Clubhouse so that you can see me live. And everything else we are going to do right here. We are going to leverage the chat. We are going to leverage communication. We are going to leverage the written word. Every single piece of this today is going to be so amazing because we have been talking juicy conversations. And if there is anything that you missed, I hope that I'm able to pull it together. So before we get started, here's something a little special just for you. Hey y'all, hey, it is 7:30 a.m. Yes, this is Lolita E. Walker, and I am so excited to come to you today right here on Breakfast with Champions across all of the platforms. I'm here to bring you just a little bit of coaching, cocktails.
I
Okay.
hear it.
Okay, well,
Hear it.
guess
That's
what?
fine. But that's it.
We're stopping it. Thank you guys so much for for chiming in. I told you it's so interesting that I told you all, hey, we are going to be chatting today. So I appreciate you doing that. For everybody else that I haven't met, some of you all I know really well. Some of you all I see, like I already see Sandra Brown saying good morning. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Today, I want to talk to you. My name is Lolita E. Walker. For all of you all I don't know, I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach. I also am a power speaker, a motivator, and I work with some of your favorite organizations in order to drive increased clarity, confidence, and commitment. If you have been following me this week, we are going to power these 30 minutes. Okay. I got only 30 minutes with you, and we are about to power it all up. I am so excited to see you. Now, we've been talking about ethics. Okay. We started early this week talking about ethics and operating in gray areas. And what does that really mean? It was really all around, I had Mervyn Bourne Jr. with me. And we both graduated from Morgan State University. And you all know my journey. I'm teaching at Morgan State University while I get my PhD, right? Just started my PhD program. I'm loving it. But even more, I'm absolutely loving teaching. And the reason is because exactly what we're talking about here today is because I appreciated how my professors made me feel, which then led me to increased action, which then led me to then act, talk, walk, behave differently because somebody else believed in me, because somebody else saw me when I didn't even see myself. So today, I want to give a shout out to Tahita, who said hello, and then Dora Maria, who said hola and virtual hugs, because I want to ask you all a question. Now, I want your honesty and openness because that's the only way that this thing is going to work, okay? I would love for you to give me one word of how I make you feel. Now, some of you all might say it's 214 people that's inside of the room right here on Clubhouse. Some of you all might say, well, I don't know you. This might be my first time, but you've heard me for at least 2 minutes. How is it that I, Lolita E. Walker, have made you feel? Now, here's the thing. It could be on Clubhouse because of my voice. It could be because you met me in person. It could be because you're in my group coaching program. It could be just because you've listened to me on a podcast. I don't know what it is, but I want to hear one word of how I make you feel. Powerful and excited about life. I love that. Maisha, hey Maisha. Megan said joyful. And Anthony said included and energized. I feel intrigued, excited because you're energetic. I feel seen. Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you guys for that. And so here's the thing. I appreciate how I make you feel and everything like that. See, that powers me. And I'm talking to you all because there's power in our words, and our words have power. How often do you tell somebody how they make you feel? It will power them. It will encourage them. And sometimes when you say, well, guess what? You make me feel isolated. This might be the reason why. Gift people feedback, because if you are going to be receiving, if you're choosing to be inside of a space where you are receiving, then I want you to be able to feel all of you and come to the table with your most authentic self. Be able to make decisions. Yesterday, we talked about making decisions and getting out of the gray zone. It's yes or it's no. And we're going to own our yeses and we're going to respect our no's. Today, part of that is understanding how is it that I make you feel? And guess what? How I make you feel can actually help propel me beyond. I just gave you an example of that. What if you chose to ask someone, how do I make you feel? Wow, right? That's not even a question that they're even ready for, but they're going to give you the truth. What is one word of how I make you feel? And then you can go further and leap into the conversation, right? And what can I do differently? What do you want to see more of? How can I pour into you? How can I pour into me? So I link this to the work that I do, right? So phenomenal, fantabulous. Sandra said, regardless of the interaction, I think you see me even when listening to the podcast, right? Relatable, empowered. Yes, these are words that actually tie into my business. Now I'm going to link it back to the power of you and what are you standing upon? What are your core values that you're standing upon? What are the strengths that you bring to the table? Are you ready to embrace the power that you have right now in your strengths and then thrive in the greatness that is absolutely you? How do you do that? Well, first you got to know, like, how am I making people feel? Because I'll tell you this, the reason why people are able to invest in my services inside of my business, they want to invest their time, their energy. They want to have conversations because it's relatable, because I'm energizing, because all of these things that people have said to me, brightest light, enthused, ready to sit up and listen and learn from you, empowered. These are words that power me. And I give them right back to you because you've told me how I make you feel. Now, how I make you feel then leans into I want you to work with me now. I want you to go with me on this journey. How you make somebody feel does what? It then gives you trust, right? And if you're consistent in how you show up, then people have the opportunity to choose. I'm talking work, I'm talking life, I'm talking home. Imagine how you make the people feel that's inside of your house. Are you so busy that you're not even able to tap in? Are you so isolated from everyone else that is disconnected? They're disconnected. Are you working at the same time that somebody's trying to speak to you? Are you present for them right now? It's so important when we go to work. Are you present for your employees? Are you present for you? Today is all about helping you to recognize that the way you make people feel actually has a correlation to the money that you're bringing to the table, actually has a correlation to people that are looking at you and might have future opportunities with you, right? I hope this is making sense to everybody. This is about understanding, being aware, and recognizing how you are making other people feel because there's a choice to adjust. There's a choice to you wanting to move forward with somebody based on how they make you feel. Investments come based on how you make people feel. Have you all ever heard, I buy from who I know, I like, and I trust? You know me because I've interacted with you. You know me because I have you sitting straight up. You know me because there's authenticity in my voice. You know me because there's consistency in me showing up. I want to ask you, how do you show up? So, my next question to you is this: what is one word of how you make someone feel? Let's talk about it. Oh, I love Lynn Luckett said, you make me feel lifted and supported. Thank you, Lolita. I love that. Listen, how do you make other people feel? Oh, everybody's silent. I can't believe it. How do you make other people feel? One word. One word. Make people feel heard. I make people feel light. I hear that, right? I want you, and it might be silent too, because sometimes we don't think about how we make somebody feel. Think about just your interaction. Let me even tighten it up a little bit. This morning, how did you make someone feel if you've interacted with somebody? This morning, how did that person feel? This morning, if you talk to somebody on the phone, how did that person feel? If you haven't interacted with somebody today already, yesterday, how did you make somebody feel? Yes, Calvin said special. Barbara said valued. When we are intentional about how we show up, when we're intentional about how we are making people feel, it will lead to greater gains. Let me separate it. I'm going to come back to Dr. Jeannie. I haven't even seen Dr. Jeannie. I've been talking about Dr. Jeannie all week. Dr. Jeannie connects with me not only on Clubhouse, but also on LinkedIn. Okay. Many of you have seen Dr. Jeannie in many places, love Dr. Jeannie. And because of how I make Dr. Jeannie feel, Dr. Jeannie now feels very comfortable in trusting me to say, hey, I'd love for you to be on a stage where I am a president and I want to bring you in because this is how you've made me feel. And this is how I want you to make our audience feel. How powerful is that? Right? Calvin said, I make people feel unique. Lynn Luckett said, I make people feel safe and fulfilled. These are things that you got to know. So I want to bring awareness to the table because when you're aware and you're consistent, people start to trust you. And when people start to trust you and lean into you, and you're being consistent in this thing called life and your passion and your purpose, and this thing, whether it's at work, at life, at home, then it will leap you beyond where you're standing today. You might not see it in this moment. You might not hear it in this moment, but believe me, when you're doing these things, when you're conscious of those things, you have sponsors talking about you in other meetings. You have people that's working to move you up higher on the ladder. They're working it. Are you asking the questions? Are you owning your yeses? Are you creating boundaries? Are you showing up in those things? Right? When I think about my upcoming Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat, which by the way is coming up next weekend, it is not too late. Oh, it is not too late to make sure that you are in the building. Why? Because you're trusting. There's people that's coming that haven't even met me before. They've either seen an ad, and that ad had them feeling like, wow, this thing is going to be safe. This is what I'm getting. They're clear on the value, or they've heard me speak, or they've been in my group coaching, or they came to my Power Zoom, or they listened to my podcast. But whatever it is, they've chosen that I want to be filled by Lolita in person. I want this opportunity to be with her for 4 days. So she's leaning in and she's pouring all the way into me. That is power. Where are you gaining your power from? How are you showing up in that thing? Because when you show up, clarity shows up. When you show up, clarity shows up. When how you feel is at the forefront, when how you make other people feel is at the forefront of how you walk, you talk, you behave every day, then they will leap and so will you. I guarantee you. I love that Lynn Luckett says, sometimes I make people feel uncomfortable because of expectations and standards. Here's a virtual high five right there, Sandra. Lynn Luckett. Absolutely. Sometimes we have to make people feel uncomfortable, but guess what? It's because they trust you enough to lean into what it is that you're saying. Because it's not judgment, it is I am setting expectations for you and I will do the same. I'm giving you what you're giving me. So, how you make them feel is, yes, uncomfortable for a moment, but it's built upon trust. It's built upon trust because you've been extremely clear. Oh, my clothes will come off. You've been extremely clear in what your expectations are and what your standards are. And when you're clear, we can have fun on the journey, right? The journey is going to be amazing, but you're very clear. Clarity plus confidence equals commitment. So, how you show up in all of the things, how you make people feel in all of the things is really going to propel not only you, I love that, Lynn Luckett, but also the people that you're talking to. So good. This Facebook user said, you make me feel seen and valued. That's so powerful to me because in my business, Walker and Walker Enterprises, I pride myself like it's supposed to be. It is meant to be a movement that is going to shift you. It's meant to be, I will grab all the greatness that's inside of you. I will wrap it up. I will listen intently and I will give it back to you so that you are clear in how you're walking, how you're talking, how you're behaving. And then I'm going to use my retreat that's coming up as an example because then I hire people to come in and then they're going to do the same because I have heard them. I have trusted them now because it's the consistency of how they made me feel in those moments. Barbara, I met her right here on Clubhouse. I went in poetry rooms and she just consistently did these poetry prompts with a picture on, you guys, it's an icon, a picture on her profile picture. And we wrote to it. How powerful. Yes, I want you to bring that to my retreat. Hired. Jen from her stories, I want to bring you to my retreat. Power, done. You know why? Because she did a story what to expect, but the emotions that came just out of gestures was powerful, powerful. And I said, I'm not keeping that to myself. Why would I keep that to myself? because how she made me feel, I want to make you feel that way. I want you to experience the greatness in that. And then I want to add that onto the greatness of how you feel already. Because if you are already pumped up, if I've already done something to you, if I've shifted your thinking any kind of way, imagine the power that I'm bringing with me. Thank you, moderators, for muting whoever that is. I'm excited that you are here and moving around. Yes, Sandra Brown said, the journey. I decide how it goes. I divide who is on my change train. Come on now, Sandra. You know how Sandra is talking about this change train because Sandra has my first book, The Intersection of You and Change. She is on Lolita's change train. She invests in herself to make sure she's showing up. And when you show up, it's not only words, it is the feelings, it is the actions, it is the transformation that now people are feeding. Why would I not share you with my friends? Why would I not share you with my community? Sandra is coming to the Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat. Guess what Sandra is doing? A happy hour at the renewal retreat while she's teaching about wine, because she also is a wine enthusiast, but she also is a wine connoisseur. And she's going to be teaching us based on One Hope wine, which she sells. She's going to be teaching us the mechanics about wine. Why wouldn't I leverage her gift and put it in there? Because Sandra makes me feel heard and seen. And I know she has a passion in this. I know she has a passion in this. So why wouldn't she be coming and showcasing her gift? Right? Larissa Harrington, hired. Absolutely. Why? Because she feeds my soul when she does the meditations. I go fast, 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 fast. What is that? Awareness. When you are aware of how you feel, then you can bring other people in order to help you balance that thing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Today, we're talking about how you make others feel can help propel you, right? You are leaning on the gifts from you. But if you don't show up in them, if you can't own your yes and respect your no, then what are we doing? You're everywhere. You're in this gray area. No, I want you to gain clarity so that now we can increase our pockets and we can increase our insights. We can increase our impact. Oh my gosh. I hope I'm not the only one fired up over here. Absolutely not. So, Facebook user says, so true. That's why I'm going to your retreat. I can't see who that is, but I'm excited that you are coming too, because I can't even explain how powerful it is. Listen, I want to tell you all, it is not too late. You too can come. And I have, of course, I have something special. I have a special price for my people who are here today because you invest your time. You don't have to be here. So you could reach out to me directly or Robin Brown, who is inside of the room. I am sure she has a if not, you can reach out to Robin at lolitawalker.com and she will get you all the juicy information too for your discount codes. But it is from Thursday of next week. It's from the 15th through the 18th. And we are powering all the way in. Dr. Lisa Jones, I interviewed her. If you all listen to my podcast or if you've been anywhere, Lisa Jones was here. She's freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Why wouldn't I share her? Why wouldn't she be talking about finances and how to get all of that right? How you're going to build this house, this financial house. And why wouldn't I add that on to the home of change that everybody's going to build? Why wouldn't I add that on to putting you inside in front of the floor and saying, yes, this is you. Talk to me about this. What are your strengths? Because I want you to feel the power that is you. Do you believe that when you know your power, you start to trust your power, then you show up in your power, then other people get remnants of you? And then now it's not just about you. It's about the transformation. It's about the impact. Today, I'm talking to you about how you are showing up based on how you make other people feel, based on what everything is that you know, because you're standing on your foundation of greatness. Oh my gosh. Lynn Luckett said, I love this. I am so excited about the retreat and can't wait to come. Yes, absolutely. I am so proud of the women in my group coaching program. Just at our last session, maybe it was the one before that, we were just talking about growth. And each one of the women that are inside of my group coaching program came in with an intention because I'm really clear. Like, what do you want to get out of this? What do you want to get out of this? And then to see them, to see the transformation to me is so powerful. For them to be able to feel it, for me to now see people going live, for me to now see people making books, for me to now see Stacy in her dissertation. All of this stuff feeds me. everything comes back to me. So, yes, I choose to bring that in my space because of how other people make me feel. I choose to hire people to come because of how you made me feel. It's probably the first time, you guys, that I'm meeting uh most of my facilitators. Over 50, probably over 60% of the facilitators that are coming to my Women's Week and Renewal Retreat, I have not met in person. It's the power of an audio app and how they show up, how they made me feel, how consistent they've been in it that has me to trust them. And now they're being introduced to a different audience. And now their business is one more person as a client because Lolita Walker is on the scene. Oh my gosh. I love it. So I'm looking in here. Susan said, where is the retreat? West Virginia, September 15th through the 18th. If you are flying, you can fly into Dallas or DCA, but shoot me a DM, Susan or Robin at lolitawalker.com. We'll get it to you. Bobby said, yes, what we are doing at this point. Oh, you said, what are we doing at this point? You are confused, is what I have to say. For real, Bobby? Well, listen, you need to lean all the way in, Mr. Bobby, because I don't know how you are confused. We are talking about greatness.
No, not that at all. That's
Oh,
something I would say in the moment of somewhere where I'm confused. I would say, what are we doing? Just like how you said it. So I
oh,
was just
okay. Yeah.
agreeing.
Okay. You know,
Yeah,
like, Bobby, where you
yeah.
been?
So,
Because
what are you doing? For real, like I am confused.
oh, good, Bobby. Because I'm like, Bobby, where you been? Because this thing, I don't know how you not keeping up. Okay, good. That was before. Yes, right. Don't you wonder, like, well, what's going on? What are we doing then? Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you even coming off mic because I'm like, well, Bobby Johnson, I love it. I appreciate that. D said, we are all fired up because you do that, and we thank you. Yes, you guys show all the way up. So let me open this up because I want to have an amazing dialogue before I read somebody else's comment that y'all wrote like 5 minutes ago, and we are not on that anymore. I don't know what's going on. So let me open it up. And does anybody have anything that they want to add before I go on? Because y'all know I could go on.
Lolita, just hey, it's Dr. Tangi. How are you?
Gee.
Oh my goodness, you always just bring it, and you are making everybody feel charged, everything seen, heard, just empowered. You do what you do. I love it. And Lolita, I just have to say what you're saying about the relationships and the connectivity on this app is such a tremendous, powerful thing. I think about even you, Lolita, been in your room. I know you've had some marathons. We've connected. It feels like I've met you and sat at the table and actually read with you, but we haven't yet. To being in your space and going to one of your events soon. And also just a shout out to the others too, like even with the mom link too, and meeting a lot of the other people from the app. We were in Atlanta and we got to break bread, and it was just so powerful meeting other entrepreneurs and women. And then in Atlanta, just with Renee and Pastor Jeff, got to meet him, and Glenn Lundy. It's just incredible, like what's happening in this space. And so, Lolita, you are so right. The table has been set. If you will come and show up and be your authentic self and be ready to give, like you so generously have done, Lolita, on this app. From the moment I've stepped in all of your rooms, you give and you pour in. I always like to say that you're juicy. Every time I hear every word, you squeeze as much power and juice as you can to every audience that you step into. So I just want to give you your flowers to say you rock and you're amazing, Dr. Lolita. And yes, to everybody that I've met on this app, it is tremendous.
Yes, Dr. Tangi. Let me first say thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Tangi, I feel like I've met you too. And then of course I saw you at with Renee Noor. So I got to see an image of you. So, you know, it's powerful. The power is how someone makes you feel. And then, like you said, we already trusting each other because we're showing up. Like I know what to expect when Dr. Tangi comes in the room. I've heard her inside of my rooms. I have one second. Somebody has their mic open, and I know you guys are all over it, moderators. because I don't see the person. Thank you. Okay. So the amazingness of this is Dr. Tangi makes me feel #powered every single time. Whoever said it, like I'm ready to sit up. I am intrigued. That is how Dr. Tangi makes me feel. And here's the thing. What if you chose today to tell someone, one person, this is how you make me feel? How powerful is that? Do it. And sometimes you got to engage in the conversation, and it might be a tough one. It might be a tough one, but if it is a tough conversation to have, then I want to challenge you to say, is it fueling me or is it not fueling me? And if it's not fueling me, then that's added tension. Remember, we don't have weight that's just sitting on our shoulders. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're not doing that thing. No, no, no. And so you can choose to shift. So today we've been talking about like navigating in gray areas, cut it out. We want to own our yeses and respect our nos. How are you showing up for other people? How are you making these other people feel? Because that then leads to trust. That then leads to impact. That then leads to money in your pocket. That then leads to prosperity and abundance. Be mindful of how you make other people feel. I so appreciate the fact that you guys are pouring into me. And so I want to open it up. We have a couple more minutes. Dora Maria said, you uplift my soul and not just mine. The power is knowing what to expect when I know you are speaking. Yes, expectations. Remember, Lynn Luckett said that. All right, whose mic is open? You want to jump in?
Hi, Lolita.
Hi.
It's me, Anthony. How you doing?
Anthony, how are you today?
I'm amazing, fantastic, and I'm all the better for being still in the room. You know, over the UK, I usually drop up by now to work, but you've just been keeping me captive in a good way. I flow a bit in the prophetic, and I was just hearing the words when you were talking about you is tectonic plates, that when you speak and your energy, tectonic plates, you know, in the earth move around and shift and move. And I just felt to encourage it that you have the ability, I don't know you very well, but the energy I get discerned from you is you have the ability to change the plates of environments and people. And when people can stand on one part, but because of the shift of the plates, they end up somewhere else in a better place, a higher position. So I just encourage you, I'm sure you don't, but don't underestimate the power of your voice and the energy that you distribute in terms of shifting environments and the very grounds that people stand on to elevate them, lift them higher, and give them and locate them in their purpose and where they're going. I hope that made sense.
Oh my gosh, Anthony, if you kept talking, there were going to be tears coming out of my eyes. Thank you so much for saying that. I received that. You know, it's so interesting that I'm telling you, God, you guys, works in such mysterious ways. Sometimes when you allow yourself to receive, you know, I'm always talking about AWA, the ability, your willingness, and your action. And I only have a couple more minutes before we end this session right here. But Anthony, I want to say thank you. I am really going to do some work today on looking at these plates that you're talking about, because as I imagined it inside of my mind, I'm looking at, and you talked about shifting, like how you can shift people. So I'm going to really be researching this today because there's power in that imagery. Oh my gosh, that's so big to me. And as I'm really thinking about and shifting some of the soul work that we're going to be doing at the retreat, this I just came up with a whole soul work exercise based on your share, Anthony. There's power in our words, and words have so much power. Thank you, Anthony. It means the best. It means the most. Thank you so much. That was so good, Anthony. I have a whole soul work exercise based on what you just said. Yes. All right. I hope to see you all at my Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat. If you have questions, reach out to me, Lolita. Oh, no, it's at change@lolitawalker.com or Robin@lolitawalker.com, ROBIN@lolitawalker.com. We'll get you that discount code so you can be in the building. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you soon.